Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello. Okay, so I was trying out a device that I'm not sure if it works, how it works. I remembered that I have like a little microphone that I've never used. And so I thought I was going to try it out, but I don't know if it actually works. And it's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to tell if it's working. Um, I'm gonna try and plug it in one more time. Let's see. Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Hello. I'm looking at the. Okay, I don't think it works. Just, I've never used it before, so I thought I would try, but we're not gonna mess around with that. Um, the light indicator on my screen um, seems to let me know that it's not picking up the sound. So that is what it is. I'll see if I can figure out how to actually work it. Like I literally just pulled it out of the storage container that I had it in and was like, oh, let me try and see if I can if I can work with it. But it's not doing that. So, anywho, today is Friday. I super proud of myself. We are 5 for 5. I have committed to going live every day this week, and I have kept that commitment. Uh, so I feel very proud and accomplished. I gotta put something on my lips. I don't think I'm gonna put on makeup today. Like I literally have it right here by me, but I'm feeling like I want to be makeup free, which I typically am. Like had it not been for me doing these lives, like I would typically not wear makeup during the day because I work remotely and it's just not necessary. I put it on if I have like an appointment out and about somewhere or I'm going to run some errands, but I think I'm not going to put any on today. Let my skin breathe for a bit because I also like feel a bit restricted throughout the day. Sometimes I like touch my face and doesn't feel as it doesn't feel as good for my skin for me to be doing that when I have makeup on. Or my fingers, because I end up getting makeup on my fingers too. So there's that. I've been thinking about just very proud of myself for committing to throwing caution to the wind, to not having this perfect, to not worrying about what the numbers look like, but to really like hold myself accountable to just start this process of being on camera, talking to the camera, and sort of creating a routine around it. Um, because I plan to be more intentional with doing it moving forward. And so I feel very good that like this week long experience, I can check off my list and say that I did it. And I will tell you that just like with most things, right? Like the hardest part is just getting started, but I legitimately like look forward to being able to like go live and talk to the camera, which is again something that I have just had so much trepidation around previously. And so it's really nice to be over the hump of whatever it was that was keeping me or making me feel like I needed to have some things like in order to get started. I'm over that hump, right? Like I just did it. And so that feels really good. And I am just more inclined. I feel I mean, it's been a week, right? But I will say that I feel bolder. And so it is, it is something to be said, and something that folks do often say about like who you become in the process of like really stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing the things that you say you're going to do. There is something, there's something to being able to keep your word to yourself. It does something for you internally. It does something for me internally. It builds something in me. There's a confidence that I feel. And yeah, I'm just really proud of that. So there's that. The other thing is that I was like thinking today about like what I wanted to just chat about, especially if I'm not doing my makeup. That gives me some more space and capacity to just like have the freedom to talk and be a bit more focused in that, because I've already shared that like trying to like do makeup and be present and hold conversation, that felt like a bit of a multitask. Not saying that I won't do it moving forward, but I'm just saying that like that's a juggle. And so, and like, I don't spend a whole lot of time on makeup daily or whenever I do it. So it's really interesting to see like, I mean, and you can see that my application is not complicated at all. But something that would take me about 5 minutes to do can easily go on for 20 minutes or so, because it's just a juggle to like hold the conversation and like do that activity at the same time, at least for me at this point in the game. So I thought about what I wanted to just talk through, no notes or anything, but there were three things that have come up for me. So, this first thing, which I've already spoken to, which is about what keeping your word and accomplishing your goal, like what it does, how it builds and contributes to my confidence, how it builds and contributes to my confidence. I'll focus on myself because it might not do the same for everybody, but there is something to be said about that. And it makes me feel like I feel emboldened to do the same in other areas and ideas that I have. And like, even this was a small goal, so to speak, but I think that's also key to being able to get things done or accomplish the things that you have on your list. Start small and make it incremental and work towards like being able to like just like accomplish the thing in small steps. Something my pastor says is that big doors swing on little hinges. So meaning that like, you know, it's the small actions, it's the small consistent things that we do that really do help build the momentum that eventually helps us accomplish whatever the big goal is that we have in mind. So this experiment of just taking this week and going live, and again not being concerned about what it looks like or who sees or doesn't see it, but like pushing myself to just like do the thing, has been very, very helpful for me. And it has also just, yeah, added to and contributed to the confidence that is that I have, but also that I am needing to build more capacity around for these big grand ideas that I am currently actively pursuing and building towards. So that's one thing. The other thing that I thought about, which this comes from me reading Emma Greed's book right now. I came across this morning, just there's a lot of different nuggets, and perhaps at some point I'll do some video about my thoughts and reviews and reflection on the book. But I am, you know, reading it and consistently finding lots of gems and nuggets that are helpful to me. And this morning, and it'll be like, it's like there are ways that she approaches the world, business, family life, etc. Um, that, you know, I take what feels applicable and, put down what doesn't. Um, and I also find that like there are things that she references, ideas, lessons, etc., that she's learned from other folks that she also incorporates into the storytelling, which just also helped me to be able to also be a recipient of that information in that way and glean the lessons as well. So I appreciate that. And this morning, I was reading something. I was reading about something an experience that she was having, a conversation she was having with her husband, where he said to her, "Stop acting like an employee." And this is during a time she was negotiating a salary, I believe, for herself. Back when she owned this agency, this production agency, I think, which may have been like one of her first businesses after she had left, like working for being an employee of someone else. And that phrase really stuck out to me because I am currently in the process of building my business out. And I also have an amazing friend who is doing the same, and she's building her business out, and we have an accountability structure where we check in with each other weekly to be able to share lessons, progress, etc., on what we're doing. And I remember during one of our conversations, she was working on a contract that she was in the process of negotiating, and um, was sharing and opening up the space for me to offer feedback on it. And I literally said to her, like, you're negotiating this contract like you're still an employee. Both of us worked together previously in our last like in full-time employment roles. And it was really, so it was dope to like see that comment in the book today, because it felt like verbatim like what I had shared, but it was also my thought. But it's also been the thing that I've been saying to myself in this process of building out a company and really seeing myself as the founder and CEO. And also the same with my friend. We are both founders and CEOs of amazing companies that we know are going to shift the world. And it's really interesting to also know that there is a lot of unlearning that needs to happen in the process of building out these companies, that just, if you don't have someone there to like check a thing or check you on it, like you can lean into some thought patterns and habits that don't serve you as a CEO versus when you were an employee. So that has just been like ringing true to me in this season of my life. I remember just like saying that out loud to my friend, but also realizing like it's also been something I've been saying to myself, and how I've also been thinking about how I am approaching partnership deals. And that felt very affirming. And it was also a really great reminder for me in the moment when I read it, because um, I am in the middle of a process where I'm, also working out a deal. And just reading that, and then the corresponding story that went along with it, was really helpful for me to just receive in the moment, because I needed to be reminded of that. Because so many times, and Emma, like, so much of the premise of the book is really about pointing to a different way for women to think about money and business and success. And so many times, I find myself always thinking, and she talks about this in the book, it's like I have had an approach to business and partnership deals and opportunities that is in line with a lot of like how so many women have been conditioned, and a lot of that does not serve us. And I am in alignment with much of what I am reading so far. um I you know I see the points that she's making, and I know from experience how it has held me back. And I am thinking about how I want to be intentional about really unlearning and quickly shaking the shackles of like the conditioning that has, um, it served me somewhat well. Actually, I mean, I've there are many things I have left on the table. So I won't say that it has been the best, but I do recognize that in this season that I'm in, where I desire to go and for what I am building, I absolutely have to unlearn and shake so many limiting beliefs. And I feel like me reading this book is being helpful in this season of my life, because I'm also needing to like have some confirmation and affirmation of things that I've already been feeling and thinking internally and might not have had the language to articulate fully, but like I see it clearly and I'm understanding it as it relates to me as a woman, a Black woman in business. And I am excited for how these things are coming up, and they are helping me to again feel bold and being able to step outside of my comfort zone and really make decisions and determinations in line with the big goals that I want to achieve, and not to be and to be unapologetic about it. Um, I feel excited as I'm reading this. I'm in the process of building. There are things that are coming up in like I said, in the book and in the storytelling that are also just like, it feels divinely aligned with what I am needing to learn and unlearn in this season of my life. So, yeah, stop thinking like an employee is like top of mind for me. And reading that this morning, I read it, and then like I went to the gym and worked out, and like it just had me on fire because I was just thinking, yes, 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 like, and it freed me because there was a block that I was having in a current process that I'm about to go into negotiation around, that I was feeling some of this guilt, right, that she kind of speaks to. And she doesn't use guilt as the word, but just some of the habit and conditioning, um, that is common in so many women in business. I have been experiencing a block, around that, related to that, in this process that I am preparing for. And just reading that reminded me that, like, oh, I am a CEO, I'm a founder. This is my show, this is my thing that I'm building. And it freed me to really, um, be encouraged to lean into that and to stop viewing myself in a particular light, which is limiting. And when I'm thinking about it, like CEO me is very much different from employee me, or um, consulting like contractor me. And so there's a particular mindset and frame that I know I need to have, especially for what I am building towards. And so I just feel grateful. This is a very long way of me just saying that, like, I feel grateful for just being reminded of that. And like that little phrase really, and the story around it really just, um, yeah, lit me up this morning. So yeah, so that's the second thing. And then the third thing, which is just not that huge of a thing. Was just like, how am I going to? It's Friday. How am I going to move into this weekend? So it is a uh, 3-day weekend. It's an extended weekend because it's Memorial Day weekend, and so there are things to do, um, and places to go and people to see. And I was thinking about the fact that, like, okay, today's Friday. I have work that I am going to do once I log off, eat breakfast, and get to my work. And also, I did this last weekend, but I did the thing of like cleaning up on Friday. I ended up doing it like Friday evening. I didn't have any plans, and it so it worked out. I cleaned up on Friday evening, so I was able to like wake up on Saturday and, more importantly, on Sunday, because for some reason I had been finding myself like doing my cleaning on Sunday, and that just felt very jam packed because I'm cleaning up on Sunday. It felt like it was just taking me forever to do. And then like Monday is like the start of the week, and I would feel rushed and not rested. So cleaning up on Friday, and I just did it last weekend, so I plan to do it again this weekend, and then being able to like wake up Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in this case, to like a clean space is going to be really nice. So that is a thing that I'm going to do. I also need to wash this hair of mine. Oh, my hair is just like, it is in desperate need of washing. So I'm going to wash my hair, and I'm going to get my hair trimmed this weekend. So I would love to be able to be in a position to come back next week and actually like have my hair out, and let that be, let the glory of that be seen. But we'll see if, because I also like work out, right? And so sometimes I sweat in my hair. And so sometimes it just doesn't, by the time I'm like moving throughout the day, I have not fully gone through the process of just like being able to let my hair dry and all of that. Cause I'm not blow drying it daily. I tend to like let it air dry. But anyway, that's a thing that I'm going to do, which I probably will do that. I'll probably get up tomorrow morning and do that, since like everything will be clean tonight. But then also, there's also some plans that are already in motion with some friends of mine. So I'm looking forward to being outside this weekend. Um, I also not too sure about what this weather is going to look like. It might be raining, so I could also be inside, but clean and cute. So that could be a thing as well. We'll see. But yeah, so that was like the other thing I was thinking about, like chatting through, was like, oh yeah, it's Friday. What am I getting into this weekend? And just thinking about how I wanted to go into the weekend, like not having to worry about like cleaning up my place. Like I want to go into the weekend with a clean space that frees me up. It feels good to be just having a clean space to move through, and then cleaning my hair. And yeah, and then also like having these plans shake out with my friends is going to be really great too. Have a friend who's celebrating a birthday, so that is already a thing that will be indoors, so that's pretty cool. So we'll do that. But yeah, some other exciting things that are on the horizon as well. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm also looking forward to coming back next week, um, with some intentionality. Maybe, I don't know. I'm committing to coming back, um, and I do want to figure out sound and whatnot for the lives that I've done so far. Again, I've still like not gone back through them. Probably won't go through them all, but I just want to see how I'm sounding, and like also figure out, um, what are the things that I need to do to also help boost it so that it's seen by folks. But for now, I'm just grateful to have completed this week long commitment. And so, yeah, I am hungry as all get out. So I am going to bid you adieu. Feel free to comment, chat, like, comment, and subscribe. But leave me a comment about what you're getting into this weekend. Let me know if there's been anything in this video that has also been helpful or, aligned with what you're experiencing and going through. I would love to engage and hear more about that. And yeah, also, if there are questions that, relevant to anything that I've shared so far, just questions in general that you would like for me to also respond to, please leave that in the comments, and I can incorporate that into the chats next week. So, yeah, happy Friday. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to returning back next week, somewhere around the same time, same place. And yeah, make it a very great day. Talk soon. Bye.